And now we're live. Hello, folks.
Hello.
This is
Monday, everybody.
Matrix Talk. And
Welcome.
we are joined by Ashley. And I forgot your last name. I'm sorry.
Zoltanki. It's all right. It's hard to pronounce.
Oh, wow. I'm glad you said
Not
that.
so hard.
And she's going to tell us about sports psychology.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, right above her head, it says NCAA.
It
Yeah.
does.
I mean, we're talking sports. Woo-hoo, big time. And she's coming from us from a mystery place in New Jersey.
Undisclosed location in central New Jersey.
I am directly off the Parkway, though. So if anyone knows parts of the Parkway, you'd be familiar.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. See, they say that. They'll be showing up there.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. And so, as usual, we will goof off for a little bit. What happened is as we go live, Crowdcast automatically sends out a bunch of emails to tell people we're live. And so 4 or 5 or 6 of those people will then log on. So we give them a couple of 3 minutes to log on, get going, and then we'll get into the more official stuff of
Right.
introductions and stuff. But we won't do it right now because we'll just be repeating ourselves. We are already up to 18 people live, which for us is pretty good, Ashley. You're popular.
Yeah.
It's
People
exciting.
into sports.
I hope I live up to this.
Are you kidding? You already did it. You've
Yeah.
accomplished your goal.
You did.
There we go.
You
I
showed
need to
up.
sign off.
You showed up.
You showed up.
Showing up.
That's
Mhm.
95% of the battle is showing up.
That is definitely something I talk about with my supervisors. Just show
Ah.
stuff.
Yeah, so if those of you who are logged in, if you can chat in
Oh,
there
yeah, chat at
on the
us.
right.
Because we've only got Maine and Pennsylvania.
Evan
We
and
don't even
I.
have Ashley from Jersey.
Yeah, you can put yourself in there if you want, Ashley.
And
Just chat right in.
Yeah, it's easy to do.
The lower right.
And
There we go.
they're a new Jersey.
Now we got Pennsylvania, Jersey, and Maine. We're covering the
Mike,
eastern
Where are you
seaboard.
from, Mike?
Snowy
Iowa.
Iowa.
I saw that on the weather.
oh my goodness.
Macon,
Macon,
Georgia.
Georgia. Wow, cool, Mike.
All
Did you
right.
guys hear there's supposed to be a new Sandy coming in the next couple of weeks?
Oh, there's something going on down
Oh
there.
yeah, there is a new thing coming. Grand Rapids. Hey, Eddie.
Sweden.
Sweden. That's
Yeah.
great.
Ooh, step. Now you're international.
That's it.
You just went international, so you're being broadcast around the world, Ashley.
Um,
Did you see that lower left stuff show up, Phil?
Yeah.
I saw it show up on her face.
Yep.
We're horrible. We're
is that theory? Is it really that?
That's
easy?
it.
I'll have to sit further away from the camera now.
Yeah. That'll keep it from showing up.
That doesn't work.
With my hair a little bit more. Maybe that. Goodness.
So others, we have Sweden. I wonder. Usually we have some Canadians on.
Yeah. Where are
Maybe they're
the
taking the day off.
Maybe it's a holiday up there.
Maybe it's a holiday up in Canada. I don't know. Who knows? Oh, look, Julie's on. She's from Ireland. We even know where she's from.
Julie.
Hey, Julie, you're logged on. Julie's from Ireland.
Oh, yeah.
And by the way, she is a very good golfer. And that's
There you
why she's here, Ashley. Yeah, she's
Oh,
she's
yeah.
like right around what they'd call scratch
There's
golf.
Michael.
Oh, really?
Morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
After-
Yeah,
Mike.
Hi, Mike.
she's very good. Nice, but she's also a business consultant and does some sports psychology
He
consulting.
does.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, and it's so interesting. I know of a sports psychologist who does work specifically. His focus is with golfers on their putting,
Yep.
with basketball players on their free throw shooting,
Mhm.
and trap shooters, because those three things are supposed to be identical every single time.
Wow.
So-
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Cool. That's
Yep.
the
Yeah.
very specific.
Yeah, that
area
makes sense. You
work.
do the same repeatable motions,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm. That's actually how I got this. I got this from.
Hey, from Virginia. Hey.
Oh,
and
okay.
by the way, repeatable motions that can be interfered with by the human
Yeah.
mind.
By your mind.
Lower left stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Antonio from Virginia. Oh, I got Calgary. There's Canada. Canada
What's
has
it they
shout
say?
out.
You drive for show and you putt for dough.
Oh, see,
Now we
I'm
got-
jealous. Arizona.
This is great. Okay, we're definitely way in Arizona. Whoa, neat.
We're covering things today.
And we're covered. We're all over
Yeah,
the
we got
U.S.
'em.
We're-
Up, down, all around.
We got Canada, Ireland,
All the way out of Arizona, Ireland, Sweden.
Sweden. So no, we're good. We're way good. And so we're going to be at 106. Let's go.
We're there.
Ashley, I'll just let Ashley introduce herself and
Okay.
and say what she's up to here. As soon as I figure out how to make her the big screen, this will make her feel even better.
Yes.
Ta-da! There she is.
Hello, everybody. I feel so seen.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Ashley. I'm a postdoctoral fellow through Behavioral Therapy Associates. And currently I do a bunch of different things. I work with individuals, I work with families, I do group therapy. I teach undergrads and grad students at Kane University. And I do mostly ACT, obviously, a lot of matrix work, some DNAV, and then I've been getting more into, and I do neuropsych testing. I do a lot of everything. I don't know. So I mostly have worked with athletes through the neuropsych realm, but I'm also working with some athletes, like adolescents, hopefully eventually college and professional, but we do a lot of stuff with the matrix and how we can move toward what's meaningful to us. So that's, I think, me in like a 5-sentence statement.
There you go.
Sounds good.
There we go. So that's about it.
Okay.
So I wanted to get started with, I can show you guys, this is what I actually do this with all of my clients. And I have like a way of finagling this, but I'm just going to leave it here for now. So
Looks good. Looks fine.
So usually what I do, obviously start in the lower right. Is it backwards?
No, it's good. It's
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 good.
good.
Like,
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Sometimes I think
Just
it's
like we're
backwards.
sitting across from you, listening.
Another
to
nice thing about Crowdcast.
Perfect.
Flips the image, so you're good.
Good. So usually, right, we talk about values here, but what I want to talk about specifically are values in sport. So why do we play sport? Why do we watch sports? Why do we get involved? And I want to think about this from every level, right? So from the weekend warrior all the way up through the professional athlete, people who just like sitting on their couch on Saturdays or Sundays and watching football, people who go to those games and get crazy and paint their faces and have never picked up a baseball bat or a soccer ball in their lives. But sport is so important to us, right? Sports are everywhere. So what would you guys say are the primary things that draw you to sports? Like what's the allure, right? What's the meaning behind it? Because I have a bunch here, but I want to see.
Oh no, we got it. We got it.
Going. I went there. Yep. Everybody can chat in, folks.
Yeah.
I'll put in exercise, fun,
Mhm.
exercise. Let's see. Friends. Oh, yeah. Oh, here. I'll give you one.
There you go.
There. Entertainment. Challenging myself. There we go. Oh, there must be competition to bring
Yeah.
best
Family
family
bonding.
bonding. Oh, you're cooking, Ashley. This is
Oh
great.
man.
This is great.
I would even say, I want to add to that the family bonding. I would even throw in like team bonding, right?
Team
So
Yeah.
your team becomes your family, right?
Yep.
You live together, you travel, especially for, high school, college, professional athletes.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
We learn
We can learn how to persevere.
Mhm.
paid for college. There you go.
There you go.
living.
Right?
Good for you,
By the
Jazz.
way, Jasmine, she was a tennis player, actually.
That's awesome. Oh, really? Okay.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we got some sportsmen here. We got
Mhm.
Jasmine, and we've got Julie. quite a good golfer. So we've got some solids here. All right. So you can make us all better.
So
That was a setup, by the way. That was
yeah. No pressure. Thanks.
Yeah,
So yeah, so as we're thinking about our values, as we're thinking about, what makes sport meaningful to us, we're looking at it from sort of the two perspectives, right? We're looking at it from a spectator or the athlete, the competitor person, right? So something that I always say to the athletes that I've worked with is as we're talking about all of these things, we also start to think of some of the other things that come up for us, right? So all of the negative aspects, but is there anything else on the sort of positive end, right? On this,
who and what's important to us?
yeah.
what's important to us. So I have, what else did I have? You guys covered a lot of what I had.
Yeah, they did well.
They did. Yeah, you guys did really well. The one thing I will add is I always, Mike and I talked about this, for spectators, it's that shared sense of accomplishment, right?
Oh, yeah.
My team wins. I feel like I'm winning. The Mets made it to the World Series once in the time since I've been alive, or twice, and it was like the most exciting thing for me, right? So it'll never happen again. So we look forward to those things, right? It makes up for all the heartbreak.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Yep.
That feeling of competency, right?
Yeah.
It carries over. It absolutely carries over. If you feel like you had, a great match on the tennis court or a really great rifle match or a run yesterday, then you feel like you can accomplish anything else that you get thrown at you. So from there, usually I write this down, but what thoughts and feelings show up for us, right? We call it the stinking thinking. At
Stinking
BTA.
thinking.
Oh, yeah,
The
okay.
BTA, yeah.
I get a little bit of that.
That's a Mike.
Eddie got it. It will never happen again.
Yeah, right. Eddie,
You have a good match, and your brain immediately says, "Well, that'll never happen
Yeah.
again."
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. That's a really good one.
Yep, it is. Here we go.
It's even worse when you
There's so
have
much to
kids.
do with this. There's too much pressure.
Yeah, too much pressure. It's impossible.
It's impossible. Come on, folks. Lower left stuff that shows up.
And especially as we're talking, what's the stuff that's shown up for you over the last couple of months, right? So our gyms are closed, our sports teams our games are canceled, our, players aren't playing. Like, what's showing up for you as an athlete and as a spectator, as a fan?
Fuck. Oh, well, how about
Feeling frustrated if you're
losing my edge? Right. Oh, yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
If you're playing indoors, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
getting, how about I'm getting out of shape?
Yep. My coach hates me.
hates me. Now that can happen. A lot. So you're talking about now it's sort of lower left pandemic sports stuff.
Yeah. I mean, like this, I would say we could actually kind of do two loops. So we could do a pandemic loop and we can do a regular loop.
We love pandemic loops.
Oh, you hate your kid. My coach hates me. I hate my coach. That's
All
funny.
right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So all of that shows up. Okay. So you're standing over a putt. There we go, Eddie. That's what I was getting at. So there you are. You're standing over a putt. So now what shows up?
Right. That's it.
And you're on the 18th hole and you're tied for the lead.
Just leave.
That's
I
it.
gotta go. That's it. There's no
Anxiety Here, no, don't miss, don't miss, don't miss. Exactly.
Don't miss, right? Don't miss, don't miss.
Don't
But
miss.
as you were telling, with it's the same. It's you're on the free throw line, same thing.
Yeah.
It's like you're
The basketball starts feeling really heavy.
the hoop starts getting smaller.
Yeah, it gets
Farther away.
the hole
funny that-
disappears.
That don't miss comment. That used to be, that was like my number when I was a college rifle shooter, and that was like the one thing
Oh yeah.
that could go into my head. And then
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
miss, and I'd be like, how could I miss? Why do I
Yeah.
keep missing?
Yeah.
So
There
had
you
I had
go.
this in college, I would have been a much better shooter. That would have been so much easier. Where were you guys in the early 2000s?
Well, sorry.
Excuse us, please.
Yeah.
So this is
No.
so this is all kinds of stuff that shows up.
Yep.
Oh, but what about when you're sitting in your living room and it's like the fourth quarter or whatever,
Oh yeah.
and
Right.
your team's behind by 3 and they're
Yep.
marching down the field? You know, how
Right.
do you feel?
Yeah. So
we have no timeouts left.
right, and that's a cool thing too, because it's that sense of how can I channel all of my energy into this stranger basically doing what they need to do and not messing it up for themselves, for me, for their other millions of fans.
Right.
And it's that sense of feeling out of control, right? That
Yep.
sense of powerlessness. And we don't like feeling that in our own lives.
Yep.
If we were the ones who were actually doing it, then take it to that level of just having to sit on the sidelines and watch. So it's a really uncomfortable experience for everyone involved, where, all of that lower left of, you feel helpless, you feel like it almost feels like you don't matter, right? Like we don't, in the grand scheme of things, we don't matter when professional athletes are competing, because we have no way of participating. We can't help them. We can't do anything about it.
Feel helpless. Yes.
Yeah.
We'll put that in. So we have all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Right,
that's a
lower
good-
left stuff.
So what do we do then? What do we do in our upper left? How do we move away from our values? How do we move away from the stuff that is meaningful to us? And by doing so, get further away and try to avoid all of this uncomfortable lower left.
So you're avoiding the yucky stuff.
Yeah. How do we avoid that stinking thinking, all that yucky
Stop
stuff?
working out and complain. Good idea.
Yeah. Mike, I feel like that was a personal attack. Definitely did that for a while. You're absolutely right. Yeah, we quit.
We have quit. Oh, I got one. When you're standing over the putt, you freeze.
Sulk, I like that.
Sulk, get in our heads. Yes. Blame.
Weather.
That's a gimme.
Seriously.
I like it. I like it. That's a good one. We have to remember to blame COVID more often.
Yeah, right.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely makes
What
sense.
else, what else do we do? I know what. Of course, we're in sports. So we take a deep breath, right?
Yep.
Almost all of us have been taught that.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you're doing, So that's one. That's a behavior, and it's definitely a way behavior, because we're trying to control the anxiety. Step away from the line. Stay up late, binge watch Netflix instead. Excellent.
Giving away all my secrets. Well, especially, it was definitely a COVID, they made it easy with Tiger King and all those crazy shows they put out there. So
All the COVID shows, yes.
yeah, blame
Go
others.
through a routine, and that's what Oh man. Oh, the baseball pitchers
Yeah.
really have that lovely, don't they?
And the
Their
and
routines.
the people in the box, you got to spread the dirt around,
Yeah, and you got
tuck
this,
it, and wave your bat around a little bit, and
and it's got to be.
get a little wiggle going.
It's really cool to see how that could also be translated into something that's moving you closer, right? But
It could
Absolutely.
it's also
Show up on the
super
other side.
avoidant.
Well,
Yep. Yep.
and that's the great thing about behaviors. They can be toward and
Yeah.
away at
Yeah.
the same time.
And then giving up, I would say someone mentioned yelling at someone or something, conflict with your team, conflict with if you have a coach or if you have a team, all of that, your workout partner, your group of runners or whatever you guys are doing. When we get frustrated with ourselves, we take it out on everybody else, and that affects our performance. That affects how we feel about our sport, and we get giving up, we freeze, we do all these different things, right? So now
We're good at this.
Yeah.
how do we reconnect, right? How do we reconnect to what we find near and dear to our hearts about sports? How do we move into this upper right? How do we move toward our values? So what are the steps that we can take to get closer to what's important to us?
Practice. That's always
Well,
what you do with sports, George.
Yeah. I was more specifically like purposeful practice, right?
Okay,
So-
well,
It's
right,
like
right.
flexibility, of course. Yes.
Of course, you practice psychological flexibility.
Yes.
Always focus on the ball. Be the ball.
Asking for help, yeah.
Health focused goals instead of purely aesthetic goals. Okay.
Yeah. That's a
Be
good one.
positive, right? Yeah. Establish routine. There's a routine showing up on the other side.
Yeah. Well,
Breathe.
breathe during play. That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah.
A lot of people forget that.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, my God, you used to be in shooting. Breathing's everything.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
That's so much of the deal, man.
That is it. That's
Yeah.
all we do. Controlling that breathing.
Oh.
That.
Well, so then whatever thing they do in the winter games where they have them cross country ski
The
like the biathlon, and then stop and shoot.
Yeah.
So-
Right. Yeah.
So I did the summer version of that. We called ourselves the Divas because we were inside,
Oh, yes.
controlled environment.
Very smart.
temperature-wise, no snow,
the
no
cold.
skis. It's just we were not about that. We did not-
No need to go outside the cold.
No,
That's too much.
Although I had some teammates who would shoot in Sweden and their ranges were half inside, half outside. So they would
Yeah.
get snowed on, which was really cool.
Uh,
So, got some elements there. But yeah, controlling that breath,
The breath is big.
that positive talk, right? That's
Yep.
always a big one for athletes that we use, that sort of moving through your experience without having the idea that you're going to mess up, the idea that you're going to fumble. And it's kind of like old school, but I know a lot of coaches still talk about the zone, right? The zone of optimal functioning.
yeah, sure.
own.
So how to get yourself into that. And once you're in it, almost control the level at which that you're participating in the zone. This way you don't immediately fall out of it. You can stay in and stay connected to it. And that all comes through mindfulness, right? That
That's
comes
mindful practice.
That's it. That's noticing.
So yeah, all of that noticing. So focusing on the next thing you're doing, the next play, the next shot, right? And then another one I was thinking about is, especially during COVID, is moving toward sport in this like new realm, right? So if there are new, like I've seen kids playing soccer and they have masks and coaches have masks. So
Right.
just understanding, what you can do, what your parameters are right now.
Yeah.
What can you do? What can't you do? So I think that's like a big piece of it as well.
Yep.
Yeah. So any other things that you guys would do or to move forward or move toward rather?
Anybody else got one out there?
Yeah.
Some favorite thing that you do?
Any lucky undergarments or
Yeah, right.
Oh, Pete Maravich. Remember Pete? Pistol Pete?
Yeah, Pistol Pete.
Wore the same socks.
Yep.
He
wasn't
did.
the bloody
Yeah, Lucky
sock, was he?
socks.
He had lucky socks. He washed them, hand washed them.
But he wasn't the one with the bloody sock, was he?
No,
No,
no.
that was Kurt
Oh.
Schilling. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, Pete, fabulous basketball player, and he had lucky socks.
Yeah, God, he says self-care, right?
And
Sleep.
I was just typing in, get plenty of sleep.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and complete it. There,
Special
get
layers. Yeah.
There you
yeah.
go.
Hmm.
Dress and layers. That's nice.
Get
Yeah,
there
being,
early.
Early.
Another good idea.
being prepared.
All of this stuff.
Good. All good.
Warm up. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of injury prevention, right? That's the last
Uh-huh.
thing we need, especially now. It's the last thing we need. Yeah, so I think all of that, it's
So we're
that's all.
there. We'll all go be great athletes.
That's it.
There we go.
Cool.
Right. So I always say that too. Oh, I like that. The but to and. We talk about that all the time. We talk about that all the time. I actually talk about that with one of my my little baseball players. He's so stubborn. So I'm always like, okay, how can we change this around a little bit? How can we kind of reframe what you're thinking? How can we move through all of these uncomfortable thoughts and feelings? So once we connect to all of this, once we start thinking about some of these behaviors that we can engage in that will move us closer to our values, it almost seems like, well, yeah, of course, why can't we just do that stuff? But we have one of my favorite metaphors is, and I don't know why, but I always talk about surfing. So I've never been on a surfboard in my life, but I love the idea of these surfers that go out there at like 5 o'clock in the morning and they're surfing. And sometimes these waves are ridiculous, right? They're huge and they get walloped over and over again by the waves, but they continue to show up. They continue to return because it's that, I don't know if it's that level of insanity or if it's the drive to achieve that next wave. And that's something that I like to translate into, what I'm working on with the individual that I'm working with is that if you continue to show up, even though you're getting walloped, right? Every time you end up with salt water, up your nose and sand in your bathing suit, how can you return to that moment of, okay, this is why I'm doing this. This is my purpose. And that's all our value, right? That's what's important to us. So at some point I'll go surfing and I'll try that out for myself. Until then, so yeah, I mean, I think if we're kind of working through some different lower left pieces where we have the negative self-judgment, the negative self-statements, the thoughts, as we're practicing a little bit of diffusion, right? So I'm having the thought that I am going to miss my shot. I'm having the thought that I'm not good enough, that he or she is better than me. I'm going to lose my spot on the team. I'm too tired. I'm having the thought that, I'm too tired to run. And that's where Mike says, turn the but to and.
Well, I'm having the thought that I'm not good enough. And now I'm going to take this shot.
Yeah. And I'm taking the shot.
And I'm taking the shot.
I'm taking it anyway, right?
Right. That's just it.
It's crazy because I laugh that it doesn't sound like inherently when you first say it, you're like, well, this doesn't make me feel any better. And I always say that it doesn't make you feel better right away. It's just that connection to what's important, right? So
Yep.
you don't feel better.
Nope.
It's not about feeling better.
It's not being
about
about
It
feeling.
ain't gonna happen.
feeling better. You know, I don't care how you feel.
So you're noticing that you're not feeling better.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
Now,
Noticing I'm taking the shot and I'm still not feeling better.
never feel better. No, it's hard. And I like
Well,
that.
it's all hard, but then you get into the mantra of all of that shows up, and I go ahead and I go out and I do the stuff.
Yeah.
Right. You keep showing up, you keep doing the stuff. And if you get to where you can just notice all of that stuff, then
Mhm.
eventually you can become an exquisite noticer.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Uh-huh.
There you go.
Notice I've worked with a few athletes myself.
Yeah.
There you go.
Right.
Well, then, right, and we talk about workability, right? So if you're having the thought that you're not good enough, okay, fine,
Right.
but
Yeah.
how's that working for you, right? So you have the thought that you're not good enough, and then you're not performing well. So how's that going? Is it working for you? Is it helping you in any way? No, probably not. So you can absolutely have that, and that's